Hello folks, this is Spoon TV and I'm Sylvester Chilokle. His Excellency President Joseph Boakai has just arrived here in Bopolu City for the dedication of the Bopolu City mini water supply system that is being constructed by the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation.
President of the Republic of Liberia, Senator Boakai, Senator Amara Kone, our two other lawmakers, Representative Zina Nomo and Honorable Mustafa Wariti, the chair of the board of LWSC, members of the Traditional Council. I'd like to welcome you to the grounds of the new grounds of the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation. Mr. President, is exactly 1 day to the day you appointed me as Managing Director of the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation. And during my confirmation hearing, one of the things we pledged was to bring water to the capitals of the 15 counties, at least as part of our agenda. And fast forward to Bopolu County, one day I received a call from Senator Amara Kone, who asked about bringing water to the people of Bopolu City. The exact words were, "Small brother, my people in Bopolu have never seen a running water. It will be a good thing for you to carry water there." And I told him, "Mr. Senator, the ball is in your court. The legislature controls the budget. So if you can lobby with your colleagues in the Senate to have some money in the budget, I promise we will take water to Bopolu City for you." The next time he called, he announced to me that there was $250,000 placed in the budget to construct a water system in Bopolu. And I told him, "Senator Kone, that is a drop in the ocean. However, we will start the process and will depend on the county and other members of the legislative caucus to lobby in the future to extend the project." But we accepted the challenge. And then immediately after that, there were doubts about whether the project would go on. In fact, there were accusations that Senator Kone had placed this money in the budget through the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation to withdraw the money to pocket it for himself. So every now and then, Mr. President, Senator Kone will he will call and ask about the progress of this project. So we were updating him consistently the day we did a groundbreaking, when we started the construction of everything. As a matter of fact, this structure you see is a brand new structure we started from ground, including the solar system you see. So we went through the entire PPCC processes and contracted tender to construct at least this water system that you see. The main pipeline, the 4-inch pipeline, runs about 1.37 kilometers the length of Bopolu, and the other pipelines, the 2-inch, runs the same course, and we have the distribution network. We have now extended throughout Bopolu because the amount allocated cannot make it, but we've set the basis for extension throughout the city. The well itself that we are extracting water from is about 750 feet deep. So at this point, I want to appreciate the Tender Construction Company for doing a very brilliant job. But I also want to appreciate the County Superintendent, Honorable Sam K. Zina. Mr. President, I'd like to report to you that he has been extremely cooperative. The moment we got on the ground, he offered, through the county leadership, the land space you see, and we are in the process of acquiring it legally for the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation. So he's been very, very helpful. He's been hosting our team. Our technical services department, headed by Honorable Patrick Sandiki, has some of the best engineers. They've been monitoring and evaluating this work to ensure that we have value for money. Our board, headed by Dr. Khalifa Belete, has been extremely supportive. They've given us all of the support. But I also want to appreciate other members of the Bopolu Legislative Caucus and the citizens. Mr. President, lastly, the biggest appreciation goes to you. It was your vision that set the basis for this. Throughout the campaign, I remember you telling me that you will never go to dedicate a hand pump. That the only water project you will dedicate is one that carries water through pipe to your people. And I remember that vision very well. So when you appointed me, I said to myself, we will try as much as possible within our jurisdiction, wherever we see hand pump, to replace it with a running water. All we need, sir, is the support. The team is motivated, and we will continue to do what is required of us. On the 20th of March, we've been breaking ground for the laying of 10 kilometers of 48-inch pipe from White Plain to Johnsonville. By tomorrow, we are putting out advertisement for contractors to bid for water construction sites in Plebo, Greenville, and Zwedru. Whatever amount is made available to the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation will work in that and continue to ask for some, so as to improve the condition of our people. By providing water, we'll be able to minimize the outbreak of waterborne and fecal-oral diseases. So that is the overview, Mr. President. After here, we would like for you and the Legislative Caucus to just view the system here. It's a very simple system, but very effective, and the pipe system. And then at the market, we thought to install some faucets there for communities around there and the market. Thank you, and Mr. President, we appreciate you for taking out the time to come.
That's the Managing Director of the Liberia National.
Thank you to Managing Director Mohammed Ali. We'll continue with more marks. This time we'll take on the District 1 representative of Bopolu County, to be followed by the Superintendent. We now take Honorable Sina Norman.
Thank you. Excuse me for the poor quality of my voice because the cold. Let me say thanks to the loving citizens of Bopolu County. I want to say thank you so much for working closely with the Water and Sewer family to make sure that we can achieve the project today. I want to say, Mr. President, thank you so much. It's the first time in the history of Bopolu County, Bopolu City, to get running water in every towns and villages. So I want to say thank you, Mr. President, for the fast settlements. Quick point, Mr. President. Two things quickly, Mr. President. Mr. President, you drove through the road to come to Bopolu County, Bopolu City, Mr. President. I want to say thank you again for giving us great roads to come to our city. Thank you, Mr. President. But we got a few challenges along the road, Mr. President. I think you drove, there's a town along the way that got Bomberman. There's a bridge in that place. It's a dress trap for our people in Bopolu County, Bopolu District, Mr. President. I want to say to you, Mr. President, the outgoing kids that walk to some school across that bridge, they call it Kiri. It's very risky for our children that go to that school. Every now and then, people die on that bridge, Mr. President. Mr. President, I want to ask you, in the public manner, along with my citizens of Bopolu County, Bopolu District number 1, Mr. President, to make sure we are about to go to the rainy season, Mr. President. That is very terrible for our citizens. For our outgoing kids that go to school every now and then. People die on that bridge, Mr. President. I just want to remind you, a few days ago, we had a county sitting here. And the citizens for every length and breadth of Bopolu County went in that house and had a resolution that they signed, which is 150,000 to dedicate that bridge or to build that bridge for themselves, Mr. President. A few days ago, we saw the popular work on the road, Mr. President. I want to say thank you again for that. But we asked few engineers on that road, and they said to us, we're just doing the road, but we're not doing the bridges. I said, why would you be doing the road? And the president talked about the roads, he talked about the 100-day deliverable. We believe that when you're doing the road, you will do the bridges along the way. Why? But today, Mr. President, yeah, we want to ask in the public manner, Mr. President. We got 150,000. Few days, some of our police from the legislature talked to us, Mr. President, when you're doing the road, you will do the bridges along the way. But to my utmost surprise, I asked the engineer, Mr. President, the engineer said, we're not doing the bridges, we're not doing the road. So I believe that being here today, Mr. President, I know when you go back, there will be a concrete bridge in Bomberman, Mr. President. I trust your ability, Mr. President. We went to public work and we asked the public works ministers. He said to do the road before the Senate, 30,000 to do the bridge. And we said, we already got 150,000. But one of our colleagues said that when the president doing our road, he will do the bridge. And they said no. So Mr. President, we got 150,000. The citizens signed that resolution to get up 150,000, Mr. President, to do our bridge. But if the Popular West try to delay, Mr. President, want to use our own funds to build our bridge so the Popular West can reap before us with 150,000, Mr. President. But in your wisdom, I believe that you will do the bridge when you get back to Monrovia. Thank you. The next motive, Mr. President, we run quickly to the health centers, the health care. As I regularly said, this is the first time in the history of Bopolu County to do a safe running water across Bopolu County, Bopolu District number 1. Let me say hats off to the former President, President George Monrovia, that built the 100-bedroom hospital here. Mr. President, our people go to the 100-bedroom hospital, no drugs. Our people go to the hospital, they get a piece of note to go to the nearby clinic to get drugs for the health care, Mr. President. Through your leadership, Mr. President, we believe in your leadership, Mr. President. We know when you get back to Monrovia, there will be nobody going to the hospital again to buy drugs, Mr. President. We believe in your ability. To the health workers, the health practitioners, Mr. President. So long they have been working here, the voluntary workers at the health center, Mr. President. The goal, the contribute the quota to the citizens of Bopolu County, Mr. President. The 100-bedroom hospital is a referral hospital, Mr. President. We got one of the best surgeons in the country, Mr. President, that reside at the 100-bedroom hospital in Bopolu County. Our people come to the hospital, the voluntary nurses work, Mr. President, on payroll, Mr. President. I want to ask in the public manner, Mr. President, to our voluntary health practitioner, Mr. President, I believe in your wisdom. When you get back to Monrovia, Mr. President, I believe our nurses will be on payroll now, Mr. President. I want to say thank you so much, Mr. President, for coming. As I regularly say, along the way, Mr. President, I was sleeping last night. I worried about your safe arrival concerning that bridge, Mr. President. I believe when you go back, our bridge will be constructed by concrete. So we want to say thank you for coming. To the healthcare, the school system, Mr. President, our people are suffering. Our people are dying, Mr. President. Our people believe in your ability, they believe in your leadership. We believe that you can change our people's life in Bopolu County. I want to say thank you so much for coming. I wish you safe arrival back home. Thank you, Mr. President, for coming.
Your Excellency, President Joseph Newman Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia, and members of the presidential delegation present here, citizens, chiefs, elders, we want to welcome you, Mr. President. We say thank you for coming, taking the risks to drive on the road that you drove on to come here. We are and we will remain grateful to you, Mr. President, for this water system that have come to us through your administration or under your administration. This is going to be remembered. This will alleviate the suffering of the school-going kids that will have to walk miles every morning to come and draw water, to go and take bath and get ready for school. At least it is not in every home for now, but we know they are in their communities, and as fundings get available or are made available, it will extend beyond those places that they are now, and that will help. Mr. President, we are and will remain grateful. And we ask our caucus to please push for more funding so that this water system can be expanded throughout the city and maybe even beyond Bopolu, so that other citizens can also benefit. So with nothing much to say, Mr. President, we just want to continue to say thank you. We appreciate your effort, and we also urge our citizens to please manage what is being put in place, because even the expansion will be based on what we manage right now. If they put it there, after 2 weeks you come and meet, everything is down, then we will be affecting ourselves, and we will suffer it most. So we want to say thank you. And just before you arrive, Mr. President, I just got intelligence that Dr. George is about to be recalled from here. We are appealing to you, if this is true, please, we want you to reconsider that decision so that Dr. George can stay here. Dr. George is not only a medical doctor, he's a true humanitarian. He works beyond his assignment. We've seen Dr. George drive ambulance here to go for patients himself. This is something that we can't even imagine that any doctor could be able to do. We know this has nothing to do with water, but the water will only be important to us if we are alive. So this is a special appeal from the Office of the Superintendent that if this information is true, Your Excellency, please work on it to reconsider it so that the George can stay with us so that we can live. If the protocol will accept, we will urge humbly that you please go to the market, one of the water sites, to see what is available there. This is going to serve beyond your imagination, beyond the imagination of our caucus that push for this project. It's truly going to be something that we can't even imagine. To sit down in Bopolu and see water running through the pipe to all the way to the market, this is just unimaginable. So, Mr. President, we want to say thank you, and we don't want to take much of your time because we know you are tired driving on the road to come here. Thank you very much.
Honorable Sam K. Zina is the superintendent of Bopolu County. We'll take more remarks. This time we'll call on the Honorable Senator Amra M. Conan, who will give us a special remark, and he will be followed by the Chairman of the Board of Directors of the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation, Dr. Kadifan Benedict.
Thank you very much. Maybe this was an oversight, but the chair of our caucus is here, and I will yield my space to her so that she can talk on our behalf. President want me to talk? Okay. Thank you, Mr. President, my fellow caucus members, Mr. Superintendent, and members of the county administration, Paramount Chief George Sumo, and members of the Bopolu County Chief Council, our chairlady and members of our county council, our fellow citizens. We are all overjoyed. I'm sure you have heard about the President's Arrest Agenda for Inclusive Development, AAID. Well, if you have been thinking about what that meant when you heard it on the radio, this is it. Inclusive development. This is it. When you do development and it touches the people, that's inclusion. This water system is part of the sanitation arm of the President's health and sanitation arm of the President's Arrest Agenda. If you can remember, when he was campaigning, he talked about that. He came to Bopolu, he said health sanitation was a big part of the arrest agenda. Today, our county is the first for the President to dedicate a piece of that agenda. So we are very happy. Mr. President, we can talk all the political talk here today, but today is a day of celebration. This is the first time in the history of this county that we are experiencing that. I saw the map of the project. It gives me hope that every home in Bopolu City is now in a position to be connected. Mr. President, I want you to please, all these people you're sitting here, me, the senator, the representative, everybody here, like your nephew and your nieces. We are a product of this. I want to thank you for this and to ask you to do more for your nieces and nephews. Family. But he's the ambulance driver, he's the emergency person, he's the person who does everything here. Mr. President, last Wednesday, at about this same time, I happened to be with Dr. George in Bomboma to prepare a clinic that was built during your first administration, UP, around 2011, 2012. That clinic was not operational. But if you were to start there today, you will see beds, you will see machines, you will see everything ready for it to be open. The only thing waiting now is the staff who are under training right now under Dr. George's leadership to be deployed there to open that place. Monakole is in Bopolu district. It's the only clinic in that district. Dr. George has positioned it to be open in the next 90 days. You go to Bama, Dr. George is there. Takwema, he's there. Kongba, Norman, he's there. Gowulala, he's there. Pasama, Benayala, he's all over the place. Please don't let them take him away from us. Mr. President, thank you for the international doctors that are currently at Emory Hospital performing surgeries on Bopolu citizens. Thank you for the partnership, and thank you for bringing them here out of all of the 15 countries. You told them